All right, so this was week 2's layout. And so for week 3, our prompts are the color orange. And I've been really wanting to use my gel sticks, which I don't use a lot. But so I have a few oranges. Even this one's a metallic red orange. And I have bright orange and a peach. So I'm going to do that. I'm working in my Bricolage Factory teal journal. And then it's something frayed, and it's October, so I thought, even though we're working on the February items from Seekgathercreate for week 3, I thought I'd use some, this is called Crypt cloth. You can get it from Dollar Tree, and I thought that would be fun to fray up and use for week 3. And then a crow, and I just received these new chippies from Amois Studio. If you missed this, I do a Technique Tuesday where I'm showing you how to kick your chippies up a notch. These I haven't even touched yet. There are part 1 and part 2, and coming in 2025 I'm going to have a part 3, but it's not going to come for a while because we've got the holidays coming in. I've got other things I'm working on. So but I did thought of these because I just got them. And then something burnt. So I love orange with blue, so I thought, well, these are nice. These are some paint chips. And they have a thin layer of gesso. I guess I was going to use them in something else. I don't know. And so I just went in and I did some burning of the tops of them. Nothing went all the way through except for right on this edge here, but I love that smoky look. So I thought I could use those or something else. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to once again be working in this because I'm trying to finish this journal up. So let's get going. So to get started, I am going to brayer some white gesso down onto these pages. And then I'm going to come in with a skewer and just do some mark making, like etch away some of the gesso to make some marks that reveal the page behind all that gesso. I don't want to blame. All I want is change. Now that I got that dry, I am going to come in with the bright, it's just a straight orange in the gel sticks, and I'm going to lay that down in the areas where I carved into the gesso, and I'm going to smear that around with my finger. So once I've got that orange down, I'm going to come in with these paint chips, and I'm going to cut the first one up lengthwise, so vertically, into sections. And then I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue to glue that down starting from the left-hand side. And I really thought, as I was going along, I was thinking, oh, I should start putting that that crypt cloth in and get it underneath some of these so that that'll hold it, and then I can start doing some fraying, and that just led me to a whole thing, and you're gonna see how that kind of all plays out here.
Into the fray, but I swear we're gonna be okay. I can see it on the horizon, spray painted in black and blue. I can feel the storm winds rising. Can you feel them too? Rain pouring, the sky's falling, lightning strikes and thunder rolls. But just hold on to my hand and don't let go.
So here's that point when I start putting that crypt cloth underneath the strips. And for this, I'm going to actually glue it with the Fabri-Tac just because I wanted something a little bit stronger than that Barely Arts to hold not only the paper strip, but the crypt cloth underneath. And I guess I should mention that this crypt cloth really isn't cloth. It's got a lot of elasticity to it. And so you're going to see later on something cool that I discovered with this crypt cloth for other purposes. I didn't use it for that in this instance, but yeah, fun.
The sky's falling, lightning strikes and thunder rolls. But just hold on to my hand and don't let go. Once more into the fire, once more into the burning flames, once more into the fray. But I swear we're gonna be okay. Once more into the fire, once more into the burning flames, once more into the fray. But I swear we're gonna be okay.
All right, so now that I've got that crypt cloth frayed, I am coming in with some white gesso, and I'm going to be pushing areas back. I also wanted to get some of that gesso onto the crypt cloth. It'll kind of make it crusty and kind of have it highlight and stand out a little bit. I am going to go into some of the orange areas and get that to move around as well. And then I'm going to get that good and dried.
And what we belong to, how we reach our destination. Shadows fading light. We're caught in burning fire, almost falling from the sky. And the sun may tear the wings
I've been at it again. I've ordered more chippies from Unwell Studio. And I have ordered some of these crow or raven chipboard pieces that are awesome. They're in all different poses and they're great size for little journals like my little teal journal here. And so I decided I was going to use for the crow prompt or scavenger item, I decided I was going to use one of these new ones. So they're raw, they haven't been altered in any way. So I'm going to actually add a little bit of that gesso I have left over onto the one I select here, and I decided to select the one that has like a big wingspan on it. And I'm just going to put that off to the side to dry while I start to add some additional color to this. And initially I thought I was going to go with one of those other oranges of the gel sticks, but changed my mind and decided to go with more of a blue color that matched that background paper the paint chip paper that I had cut down and adhered. And I'm just adding these in areas and then kind of moving it with my finger. I started to spray a little water, but I didn't really like the way that was looking, but it did loosen it up a bit, so I'm just kind of using the water I did spray down to help me move the rest of it. Kind of letting it gump up onto that Crypt cloth that I had frayed and really getting a lot of color saturation in those areas as well. I did discover that I like the way that gel crayon looked, or the gel stick looked once I sprayed it with water but didn't touch it. So I did spray it here and then just dried it. For the life of me, I cannot recall where I got this piece of tissue with these birds flying on it, but I thought it might be fun to add since I am going to be putting the crow on here. So I decided to add that, but I know that gel stick is water soluble and will move. So what I do is I add the fluid medium to the back of that tissue piece and apply it, and then just kind of rub my hand over the top of it so that it doesn't move the color beneath it. All right, it is time to alter my little chippy, and I'm going to be using some embossing powder on this. So I've pulled out some black embossing powder and my Versamark embossing ink pad. So to start off with, I'm pushing that chippy into the Versamark pad, getting it nice and sticky with that ink. And then I'm cutting off a little chunk of the Crypt cloth to press into the face of that chippy. Thusly coming in with the embossing powder, pouring that right over the Crypt cloth onto the little crow. And then I'm going to shake off the excess powder, put that Crypt cloth to the side, and try and get the excess powder off of the chippy. Of course, put the excess back into the jar, and then I'm going to apply heat. So I am not using my hairdryer for this. I am using my heat gun, getting it nice and warmed first, and then coming in and activating that embossing powder on the crow, as well as that Crypt cloth. And I was very surprised because that Crypt cloth is not made out of cotton. It's some fake stuff, and it melts, so it did this really cool thing. I did put it aside to use in something else because it just wasn't going to work out for this piece, but that's exciting news. So that is a method that this technique of alternating a chipboard piece I'm going to do in detail in a Technique Tuesday video coming out next year, which will be part 3 of the Technique Tuesdays, where I'm kicking up our chipboard pieces. So be on the lookout for that coming in the new year.
I have to fall apart to get to see you again. You only have a heart when mine is bleeding, some kind of friend.
Well, I felt like this needed some darkening. It is October and it is orange and it does have a crow on it and it has that smoky burntness going on those paint chips. So it needed a little, kick in that direction. So I've edged it all around the page, did a little bit of that Stabilo all in black and the Crypt cloth at the bottom left there, and then I'm going around and I'm spritzing it with my water mister to get it to just really kind of pull in and give that, mystic, creepy kind of look. And once I feel satisfied with that, I am going to give that a good dry. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure where to put that crow. And if I was going to use the Crypt cloth, that I used the embossing powder on as well. So next up, find the words, and then maybe that'll lead me to where that crow needs to live.
Layer by layer, I didn't know narrowness in my childhood. Little by little, we unfold the riddle of adulthood. Is it lost hidden or does it ring still inside somewhere?
Well, that didn't take me too long to figure out those words, and now I am just going to distress the edges with some archival ink in black soot, and doing the dance. Where should those words live dance? That's what this is. And looking back, I don't know why I didn't use that Crypt cloth with the embossing powder on it. I really liked it. Take me on a spree to